This is Dave Palumbo with RxMuscle.com. I'm here with John Romano, and we're here to wrap up the 2009 Ms. International. John, it was a great event. Iris Kiley emerges victorious for the fourth time in her career.
Yeah, an incredible showing. I mean, she just looked, I think, better than she's just ever looked. What an amazing, hard, detailed, perfect package she brought.
Different look, though. Different look. She had straight, kind of shorter hair, which kind of looked good, I thought.
Yep.
She had a little bit, I think her conditioning was even better than the Olympia, but she looked a little smaller, but I thought it worked for her.
She looked tighter all around. I mean, she just had a tighter overall presentation, but rock hard. I mean, she was just hard as, she just looked like a statue, an incredible piece of work.
Cameraman Carl Lenore of Superhuman fame told me that, he'd never seen a woman bodybuilder up close before. And when he looked at Iris, he was amazed that, how feminine she looked and how she really wasn't that big. 160 pounds is not that big.
Well, see, now that we've had to cull resources from other areas that are willing to work for free because, we're a startup company and don't have very much money because we've recently been fired, but we're doing the best we can. That's a reaction from a sort of a lay person seeing someone so incredible like Iris. I mean, it's pretty reasonable for that kind of reaction to be leveled against or leveled for Iris. She's an amazing sight. I mean, you can't really understand what a 160-pound woman looks like on Iris Kyle when you normally think of 160-pound women at McDonald's. So, I can see how Carl would be in awe of looking at Iris Kyle.
But I think she, people would think that, she'd be bigger, like only 160 pounds. She looks like she's 300 pounds,
Yeah.
She's not that tall.
No, and she's larger than life. I mean, but she's not that tall. She's a tight little package. But at that 160 pounds there's no waist. There's nothing there.
No fat there.
There's nothing there.
Now, she wins the fourth one. She redeemed her loss last year, which was a little controversial. And I think she's back on top of the world with the Olympia win this past fall. Now she has the Miss International under her belt. So Iris is floating on cloud nine. But another person who's floating on cloud nine is Deb Leshevsky, who pulled out a second place. I don't think anyone could have predicted that.
No, I mean, we saw her in prejudging and thought she looked great, but it wasn't. I guess she really shined later on in the show.
I think at the prejudging she was pretty dominant too. It looked to me that she put almost 10 pounds on. I mean, she was a lot bigger than the last time I've seen her compete.
She was a lot bigger, but a lot of times when girls come in a lot bigger, it's usually a detriment. They don't really have it refined and honed. But she was really complete. She looked really, really good.
My hat's off to her. She did a great job. Now in third place, Yaksenia Oroquin, who won this show last year, she kind of bounces up and down. Sometimes she's in shape, sometimes she's not. I think she could have been a little harder this time. Personally, I know you and I were saying that we thought Heather Polisky, who took fourth, probably should have been in maybe that second or third spot. Give me your opinion on Heather's placing and then Yaksani.
Well, Heather is another girl who came in a lot bigger than last time, and this time her weight, I think, was really very evenly distributed. She looked really incredible and definitely outmassed Yaksini. Yaksini sometimes looks to me like, I don't know, she likes maybe has some kind of depression or something. She's sometimes she looks really happy and sometimes she doesn't look very happy. And I think the times that she doesn't look very happy, her body doesn't really come in, really sharp. But when Yaksini's on, Yaksini's pretty much, in that unbeatable realm. So, if she can hit it, she does great. If she's off, she's off. But I thought Heather was much improved. And I think, I could have definitely seen her in third place.
Or even second.
Or even second. But Heather to me is if you're going to be a massive female bodybuilder, then you should look like Heather.
Let's talk about fifth place finisher, Diana Cadeau from your neck of the woods. You know what? I didn't think that she had the crisp level of dry conditioning that she really needed. And to me, with her physique and being a shorter bodybuilder, it took something away. Now, that's not to say that she wasn't great, because I thought her physique looked really good. But I don't know. You think she was holding a little water or something?
She probably was. What I think Diana's problem is that Diana is not out to hit the same mark every year. She tries this one year and she tries that another year, and she comes in a little lighter or a little heavier and tries to find a different look. Whereas Iris Kyle just bangs it consistently. Every year she's hitting the same mark. So, as far as Diana goes, I think if Diana just decided what she wanted to be and stayed there, she would do a lot better.
She just hasn't found the right formula. That's debatable,
Too, yeah.
And obviously, finishing in 6th was Betty Viana, who made a tremendous showing at the Olympia this past year. This girl has Miss Olympia written all over her. It just seems that she doesn't get quite hard enough in that glute and hamstring area.
Well, that is a tough area to come in for a lot of people. You can see our low budget aspect. They're taking the garbage out. While we're doing the interview, it just adds to the mystique of as two guys slugging it out in the trenches. But she looked a little soft. The hamstrings and glutes. But for a woman, that's a tough area, as you know, Dave. That's a tough area for them to bring in. And if a little extra work, she could move up very easily.
With that physique, with that tiny waist of hers, and the sweepy thighs and the wide, broad shoulders, she's a contender to challenge Iris Kyle in my mind. But I just haven't seen the level of conditioning yet there in the glute and hamstring area. Probably the Olympia was the best she's been. I don't know if her formula that she uses to get herself in shape is just not where it needs to be, like Diana. But if she ever does nail it, watch out for her. I'm telling you, she's one person to look out for. Who would you say, in your estimation, was maybe the rookie of the year type of bodybuilder for this show?
A rookie? I don't know who the rookies are. who are the?
Who do you think was it like the person that like maybe is most unexpected, or someone who's going to be a future talent?
I'm thinking. I'm glad that Heather Armbrust, Heather Palicki, was sort of made a transformation and brought back a really kind of impressive package. I mean, that to me is a standout. As far as what she pulled together. The girl, second place, Deb. She is. I think to me that's really a really overall structure that's really good for the sport, with that tiny waist and the big sweeping back. And what do you think?
I was thinking the person I was thinking of, maybe it didn't come to mind, was Isabel Terrell, because Isabel Terrell actually is this is maybe only her second pro show. Mm-hmm. The first one was kind of like she jumped in it right after she turned pro, and the girl's got a tiny waist, she's got the broad shoulders, she's got everything Miss Olympia, and you even mentioned that she reminds you of Shelley Beatty, who used to be married to.
Yeah. You know what? You and I have been pretty sleep deprived, so I'm a little punchy. But I would have definitely picked Isabel Terrell as a standout up and comer. This guy with the garbage cans is driving me nuts. She has, as far as Shelley Beatty, sort of really tiny waist, sweeping, sort of very feminine lines. She reminds me a lot of her. And me personally, I don't like that super heavy muscled, look. I like that streamlined, sort of medium muscled, that's kind of Isabel Terrell really has. And I thought her condition was great. And I think that girl's got a very bright future. There's a future Miss Olympia right there.
You heard it from John, and I'm going to concur with that. For now, though, we got to go eat, and we got to put up some pictures. So I'm Dave Palumbo. This is John Romano, RxMuscle.com.